Hello and welcome back to the Concept Checkup. The point of Concept Checkup is to dive into the Warframe forums, look for a community-made Warframe concept, and talk about it. For the purpose of Concept Checkup, I will use my custom-built evaluating method known as AS. Without further ado, let's begin the checkup. For today's checkup we have Athena, the Owl Warframe. Athena was created by Blazing Cobalt on the Warframe forums, who also created the previously covered Telem Warframe. Athena is designed to be a stealthy damage dealer, similar to Ashe, but given the lack of stats to go off of here, it's impossible to determine if Athena is designed as a glass cannon or not. Regardless, Athena's first ability is Perception. Activating Perception allows Athena to see all enemies through walls that are within range of Athena, as well as granting stealth damage multipliers if Athena kills an unsuspecting enemy. A first ability that doesn't directly deal damage isn't common, but that isn't to say that it's bad. Temporary wall hacks in addition to damage buffs while in stealth sounds just fine for a first ability. It's the kind of power that would be useless when not stealthing through a mission, but otherwise it sounds reasonable. Athena's second ability is Obscurity. Obscurity is only available when Athena is not in light. Once activated, Athena becomes invisible, draining energy over time. Nearby allies also become invisible, which further increases the amount of energy drained for Athena depending on the number of allies that have been cloaked. A power that relies on pre-existing conditions to be met in order to be used isn't a good idea. Stasis works because Limbo can force an enemy into the rift at any time he wishes. Eclipse works because regardless of light or darkness being present, Mirage gains a good buff. Obscurity doesn't work because not only is it unavailable outside of darkness, but because it forces Athena to play in dark tile sets in order to make use of the full kit. Being forced to play in a specific manner in order to fully utilize a Warframe's kit is not healthy design. Athena's third ability is Ruffle. Athena forces nearby enemies to run away, and grants nearby allies a temporary casting speed buff. Yeah, this ability is essentially a weaker version of Terrify, only instead of stripping armor, it grants bonus casting speed. The only Warframe that really has any issues with casting speed is Limbo, and even then a simple natural talent is enough to fix it. The fear crowd control that Ruffle provides is decent, but the bonus casting speed buff just feels like it was tacked on. Athena's fourth ability is Quilquell. Athena gains the ability to throw energy feathers that inherit her secondary weapon mods. This drains energy over time, and feathers decay over time after thrown. After fully decaying, the feather explodes, creating 3 more feathers that strike enemies. If a feather scores a headshot, the enemy is blinded. Now sounds like a fun exalted weapon to play around with. Quilquell seems to silently encourage going for headshots, as not only will enemies be blinded, but since Quilquell's feathers fly straight forward with no downward arc, there seems to be no reason not to go for headshots given that Athena's feathers fly forth like lasers. I would imagine that spamming feathers would not have to be required either, given that just throwing 1 feathers eventually results in 3 more being created, and so on. It's likely that this ability would have to be toned down a bit in order to not completely fry potato computers, similar to how Limbo's stasis only has a 300 projectile limit. Anyways, here are Athena's scores. Athena would be a great concept if some more time was spent developing her stats, passive, and kit. Her first ability and fourth ability are essentially great as they are. Her third seems like it could be replaced with something better, and her second just looks too reliant on the environment to be good. For my personal thoughts, having another stealthy damage frame be introduced is something I wouldn't mind, especially if it possesses an exalted weapon to use and play with. In Athena's case, she needs to be refined a hell of a lot more in order to reach her potential. Her first and fourth ability would really be fun to play with, and both are abilities that make me want to actually play Athena, but the rest of her design needs work. Serious work. Thank you for watching.